Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of Collecting Canadian Cavalry and Armour. Today we decided to take a field trip and we're here at the Kingsville Military Museum located in Kingsville, Ontario on Division Road right behind the Royal Canadian Legion. For a small town military museum, it's a wonderful place. They've got, they mostly concentrate on stuff dealing with vets from Essex County down here in southern Ontario, but they've got some good Cavalry and Armour stuff in there. So let's go in and take a look. So here we are in the entrance to the museum. And you can see this lovely depiction on the wall of DF. Just don't forget DF, the local infantry regiment here, the Essex Scottish, got the hell beat out of them, along with many other regiments. And this tank depicts one of the Churchill tanks that was used by the Calgary regiment during that ill-fated invasion. So, beautiful graphic of a horrible event that happened in Canadian history. And just inside the main part of the museum, you see a wonderful collection of machine guns, both from World War I and World War II. The one of particular interest to us is this light machine gun, this Lewis gun here. Those things were used extensively on the Mark IV, Mark V tanks in the First World War. So right off the bat, we see some good tanker stuff right here. Just a little further into the museum, you see this wonderful display of medals that have been donated here to the museum. Of note, you see there's a couple of very interesting sets up in the top left corner there. You see this guy was a veteran of the Egyptian campaign in 1882 with the British. And then we have this fellow here that won the military medal for bravery in the field. But it's a wonderful collection of medals from guys that came from Essex County, Ontario, and fought, served Canada, and now their medals are here for everybody to take a good look at and enjoy. So here we are in the first, the older military stuff in here. We have some wonderful regimental displays over there, group photos. In this one showcase we'll take a look at. Fellow was a veteran of the Northwest Rebellion. But down here we have some wonderful First World War uniforms, and there's different badges and stuff. Lots of stuff to see in this museum. It's definitely worth the trip. Come on down and take a look. As we move from the First World War through the Second, and up this way you see stuff from the Navy and all kinds of other stuff. So come on, let's take another look. Now for us Armored Windsor Regiment guys, this display here is fantastic. These are the uniforms that belong to General Warren Bradley. General Bradley was one of two fellas that started off their military career in the Windsor Regiment, in his case the XLIII Regiment tank, and attained general rank. The other being, of course, Major General Farron. General Bradley served as the honorary colonel of the Windsor Regiment for many, many years. I met him personally quite a few times. Great guy, and now his uniforms are here in the Kingsville Military Museum. Wonderful display. So tucked away here in the corner of the museum, we see a lot of stuff dealing with World War II, Canadian Army. We have a wonderful portrait of a fellow in the XLIII Regiment tank, and the nice thing about these period photographs or portraits is you can see how the uniforms and how the badges were being worn. Here we can see the melt slip-on that we covered in episode number 2 being worn in the uniform, and the beret that looks like you can make two of the modern berets out of it. I don't know, those guys use it as tents, I don't know. But also on the wall here you see some regimental photos. Up here you see the Prince Edward Island Light Horse, and down here we have A Squadron, 1st Armoured Car Regiment, Royal Canadian Dragoons, in England 1942. Now these regimental photos are really nice to see, and they add a very nice touch to your collection. Right? So you have the guys wearing the stuff, the whole group of them, you know, a squadron or whatever, and then you have the uniform there next to it. It makes for a wonderful display. Also featured here are some of the other trades and stuff, but here's a wonderful display for a Military Cross winner. This fellow was a doctor with the Royal Canadian Medical Corps who was taken prisoner and served the guys within the prisoner of war camps and was awarded the Military Cross. Some of the really nice stuff that you see, especially in some of these smaller museums that are kind of out of the way. Lots of gems in all of these places, so it's worth the visit. And here we have a nice display. Canadian Women's Army Corps, local girl who went over and served, spent most of her time in England, but was also awarded the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. So wonderful display for the Canadian Women's Army Corps. And here we have a hidden gem. This is Regimental Sergeant Major John Schultz of the 8th Canadian Reconnaissance Regiment, the 8th Recce guys. As you know, when we covered 8th Recce in the episode where we featured the 8th Canadian, or I should say the 14th Canadian Hussars, many guys from the XLIII Regiment tank ended up serving with this regiment after they went to the reinforcement unit, were farmed out. Many of these guys showed up here. Wonderful gem to find the RSM's battle dress jacket. Okay guys, real quick thing. Now this isn't Cavalry and Armour, but this is a wonderful local hero from Windsor, Ontario, Ralph Mayville. He served with the 1st Special Service Force. Wonderful guy, heck of a guy. He lived well into his 90s, and every time we had a chance to sit down and talk to him, we always had interesting stories. Just a wonderful, wonderful man. He's dearly missed. But again, Ralph Mayville, one of the 1st Special Service Force guys. So guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this episode of a wonderful little small town military museum that's loaded with stuff. And like I said, they're always worth the trip to find these little museums and take a look through, because the quality of the stuff that they have in here is fantastic. And don't forget, most of the people that work in these smaller museums are all volunteers, right? And they do a fantastic job of keeping the legacy alive of those who served before us, and help preserve Canada for what we have today. Unfortunately, the government screws things up, but these people, their efforts should always remain foremost in our memories and that kind of thing. So I hope you enjoyed everything, and happy collecting.